Dictionary.com defines a pond as a body of water smaller than a lake, sometimes artificially formed. We can visit wild ponds such as Sinking Pond Sanctuary near where I live. And we can visit backyard ponds such as this one, just a couple years old. Ponds hold life along the edges and on the surface. Watch those water striders go. Each part of a pond is full of living things, large and small. We can scoop pond water to study creatures more closely. This is a mayfly larva or perhaps a damselfly larva. We always put the water back right in the pond after looking. Here is a dragonfly nymph. Dragonflies live most of their lives underwater as nymphs. It is only in the last bit of their lives that they grow wings and take to the sky. Ponds are beautiful, peaceful, full of drama, and fascinating, and we can learn more and more about ponds, even the same pond, each time we visit. Hello, Wild Riders of Mamaroneck. We are here by the edge of our spot, the vernal pool. You can see it here. It's changed a bit. You might see I'm in a little bit of shadow because of these leaves up above. The sun is above me, but there are many leaves between the sun and me now. Today, as I approached, a couple of frogs popped right into the vernal pool. I wasn't quick enough to catch their picture, and there are mosquitoes everywhere. So as the weather changes, the animals change and the plants change, and what we notice and what we can write in our nature journals also changes. So you can go back and I can go back to anything from the previous weeks of nature journaling and do that again. And what you will notice and what I will notice and wonder will be different. So thinking about vernal pool, a body of water that exists for just a short time in spring and then dries up. Today, ponding. We've been learning from the naturalist at Sheldrake that a pond is a larger body of water. The sunlight reaches the bottom. A lake is an even larger body of water. The sunlight does not reach the bottom always. So today we continue learning about, this time, water creatures and animals again, not at the seashore, but at the pond. It's great to see you, and I'm really glad we're back together. Let's visit the neighbor's backyard pond, where we will talk about our nature journaling for this week. Hello, 2nd and 3rd grade Wild Riders of Mamaroneck. Welcome to our neighbor's pond. It was so generous of our neighbors to allow me to come over to take pictures and samples and to write here with you, and I thank them. When you look at this pond, I'd like you to notice its edge. Ponds have a boundary, just like our vernal pool has a boundary, and that's its edge. And everything within that edge is the system of the pond. The edge of this one does not have big grasses, reeds, and cattails. It is a mowed edge, which means that there are some animals we will not see and some plants we will not see that we might see in a wilder pond. And when you visit different places in nature, you'll see that some are more impacted by humans than others. So when we look at this pond, we can think about what is inside, what lives on top, what flies above, what does live at the edge. And for this week in my nature journal, I'd like to share with you what I did. First, I did that thing I do often, which is make some lists. I took a page and I made a list of pond plants and pond animals. And this is what I have so far. Pond plants: duckweed, algae, water lilies, trees on the edge, big grasses of different kinds. And pond animals: geese, ducks, turtles, fish, leeches, heron, kingfisher, smaller water beetles, water striders, leeches, minnows, dragonflies, damselflies, tadpoles, frogs. There are lots of peepers on our road. Bloodworms, mayflies, mosquitoes. There are many more. There are many I don't know at all. I'm very curious about learning even more about ponds now. So what I did is I chose one to learn more about. And I wrote down, I said on the top of my page, I would write down 10 dragonfly facts. And I did a little bit of research at a few websites, Wonderopolis, Ducksters, and dragonflysite.com. But what happened is once I got going, I got a lot more than 10. So I made a page for the facts. I'll read you the facts. Dragonfly facts. There are 13 right now. over 300 million years old, 30,000 lenses in an eye. Humans have one lens per eye. They can fly backward, hover, do loops. They molt between 8 and 17 times when they're nymphs. And nymphs is when they're the creature in the water before they become the flying dragonfly. They can be nymphs for up to 4 years. They eat other insects. There are over 3,000 kinds of dragonflies. People sometimes see them as evil or sometimes as a sign of happiness, depending on the culture and the tradition and the folklore. Adults as dragonflies live up to be 6 months. So once you see one flying, they have about a 6-month lifespan for the adult flying age. A long time ago, they may have had 2 full wingspans. So they're ancient. They could have been this big at that time. I would have loved to have seen such a thing. They have 6 legs, but they're not really great at walking. They can be blue. Their bodies can be blue or green, yellow, or red. Before flying each day, they have to warm their wings up in the sun. And it's good luck if a dragonfly lands on your head. So that's a little bit of happy superstition. So I took these facts, and then I was inspired by a poetry book I love very much by Joyce Sidman, and it's illustrated by Becky Prang. It's called Song of the Water Boatman and Other Pond Poems. And the very title poem of this, Song of the Water Boatman, it just gave me the idea for our work today. And it is simply to write poetry or songs that begin with song of the whatever pond creature or plant, or pond, song of the pond even. So I went back to my list, and I knew that I had researched dragonflies, so I definitely wanted to write Song of the Dragonfly. And here's how it goes. Song of the Dragonfly. See me, I warmed my wings at dawn. I am a glint out of the corner of your eye. See me, I lived in water. Now I zing through sky. If I land on your head, you are lucky. I also did Song of the Water Strider, and those are the ones that go along the surface of the water. Song of the Water Strider. I make gentle ripples on the surface of this pond. Some go below, I stay on top. I glide, I ride, I skate the surface, making marks, now here, forever gone. And I wanted to do a plant. So I did Song of the Water Lily. Now, we don't see water lilies in this pond, and I haven't seen water lilies in sinking ponds, but my dad and mom used to have a cottage on a lake, and there were water lilies there. And when we would boat across that cottage lake, we would see the water lilies on the surface, just floating, knowing that, of course, they went all the way to the bottom. Song of the Water Lily. My face floats on top of the pond. My toes squish in the mud below. Sun touches all of me. My flower smiles back. When you see me, say, hi, Lily. Hi, Lily. Did a little drawing. Pond. So this week, I encourage you to choose one, if you haven't yet already, which many of you may well have done, one pond creature or animal to learn some facts about, maybe list them in your nature journal, and use those to write a song of that animal. That'll allow you to put together the facts and the whimsy, the facts and your artistic side together into a song. And if you want to, you could even write it to a tune that you sing. I did not do that this time, but I could imagine going back and saying the dragonfly. I could write that to the tune of, not these exact words, but something to the tune of a song I know, like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So I have, see me, I warmed my wings. I am a glint out of the corner of your eye. See me, right? So I could change that and work with the syllables to make it sound like a song that I know. I wish you lots of fun in your nature journal. If you can't visit an actual physical pond this week, do go back. You can rewatch little bits of the videos or go online and look up some pond pictures. Or if you have a book in your house that maybe has some pond pictures, a field guide or some other book, even a fiction picture book that has a pond picture in it, and you can get ideas from there. Ponds are fascinating places. They look still at the top, but there's so much going on below the surface. This is true about many things in life. I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. It is evening at our neighbor's pond now, and you and I can hear the peepers, the frogs peeping, and we can watch a leech swim by. There is so much to learn about ponds, from birds to invertebrates, fish to small plants, mammals to trees, all creatures living in the system of a pond. Find a few good animal research sites here. Go ahead, Mamaroneck friends, get muddy, get wet, right wild.